Hey guys, Tricky2K here, back with another video after a long time being absent, and I want to talk to you a little bit about why, because it's mainly because the interest in recruiting has declined. So I want to talk a little bit about that, well, pretty much actually, and to see if there's anyone that agrees with me, because I feel this game is dying, and if they don't do anything soon, well, it's not gonna be that many players left. So, this game has been on a steady decline for me, and the hype of the game is over, and so is the general interest for the game for many players that's been there from the start. At least that's what my impression is. Why? I tried to cover this in this video and give you my thoughts on what's good, bad, ugly, and but the game and its current state. So, why do I have this negative point of view of the game when I actually enjoyed it very much, and I would still recommend it to new players actually? To get a better understanding, we need to look briefly back at previous games released, particularly in last year. More or less all AAA games released last year were unfinished products with a lot of bugs, glitches, performance issues, and so on. This game is no excuse from that list, although not anywhere near as bad as Ubisoft other releases in the past years. Even with some extensive beta testing, the game suffers from a lot of problems, mainly with client stability, causing the game to crash for no apparent reason. Back in the betas, I think it was a memory issue, and I wouldn't be surprised if there still was a memory leak causing the problems. Apart from that, we had the network issues, due to the fact that they chose to go with a peer-to-peer model instead of dedicated server, which is probably the biggest mistake they made this game. Because of that horrible choice, there's a huge number of players that can never get into PvP racing, grew up with friends, or just requires you to go above and beyond with the knowledge of networking to configure it properly. Someone that's fairly experienced with PC and has some network knowledge probably managed to sort it out by now, but the vast majority are probably more casual. Just look at the console side. To have a game that requires constant connection to other players and the whole experience around that, and then decide to go with a peer-to-peer solution this complicated with the ports is just mind-blowingly stupid. To top it all off, they're using the tagline, "Never drive alone." Yet the PvP lobbies are like ghost towns for the most part, not even mentioning the faction versus faction that's been broken since 1 or 2 days from launch. Season Pass has been adequate, maybe? Well, although it was sold for quite a fair price, apart from the 3 new cars, there's been extreme lack of content for people. 3 new cars each month isn't something that makes me extremely excited, to be honest. It's now been more than 3 months, getting close to 4 actually after the game's been released, and so far we had 9 cars. 2 new PvP maps with elimination for each spec, and that's it. It's easy to look at another game that had a rocky launch in October last year as a good comparison, namely Drive Club for PS4. While the game itself, from a single player perspective, worked just fine, the online multiplayer did not at all, more or less. Apart from that, there was a promised free PlayStation Plus version of the game that still hasn't seen the daylight, as I know. The game has breathtaking visuals, amazing level of details like the cockpit view, and amazing sound engineers has done just a fantastic job with the engine sounds and game audio. But was that enough? Nope, it wasn't. Despite the game being superb in just about every aspect, but the online connectivity, the game received major criticism from angry gamers who couldn't get online, get challenges to work, etc. However, they've been working their asses off since launch, and they've sorted out more or less every issue, while constantly adding new cars, actually adding new tracks as well. And they probably have the coolest selection of cars to be added to any racing game. From the most known, fair, and awesome cars to, well, cars that more or less no one ever heard of, while also delivering amazing dynamic weather updates together with new tracks. And Also, I think I read today that they added the replay ability or function feature or whatever. But first and foremost, they've been in constant update with the community and customers, and even gave away the, I think the first DLC pack with DS compensation might have been 2. Ivory Tower should take notes. Communication is key, and this is where bigger studios and probably for the most part falls through, in my opinion. I can understand that it's more tricky to work out things when there's more platforms involved, but they either need to hire more people or seek more funding from UB or whatever, or else this game just fall flat and be forgotten, sadly. 2 new maps, which they added for each spec and PvP, is far from satisfying. There's 2 more coming with a new game mode with the new patch, but the new PvP mode they added with the last patch uses some kind of super nitrous, which makes the nitrous useless for 8% of all cars, since they still have to get around and retune the cars. They are retuning some of them, but there's still a vast majority which you really can't use at all for a competitive PvP racing due to massive wheel spin. This, to me, very odd, since they said since before the game even launched that it's focused on the end game, but then seemed to have totally forgot to even drive the cars when they were maxed out, or kept driving them with all assist and maybe not even maxed out. As vast as the big open map is, the totally opposite of the game is when it comes to car and choices, unless you're just cruising around and doing nothing more or less. So I made up like a list of what I consider that desperately needs to be fixed or implemented to prevent this game from meeting a swift death. First, retune the cars. This can't be stressed enough, but the vast majority of the cars are quite sadly worthless in PvP, and especially for those using sport or hardcore settings. There's too many cars with wheel spin, which makes them painfully slow around corners, and nitrous is more or less useless. This becomes an even bigger issue with the elimination mode, where the nitrous power is increased the longer you are in the back, making it even more useless. Quite counterproductive. Second, more PvP maps. 2 new maps for each lobby in 3 months is nowhere near enough. How hard could it be to give us new races? You're basically only putting down checkpoints and route from A to B. I would also like to have the option to be able to race all performance races in the performance lobby. Some of them are only available in non-respec lobbies, and when I joined performance, I wanted to race in that spec and that spec only. If I wanted to do circuit raid, I would join those lobbies. I understand that they are there to make it a little bit more varied, but please add these to the performance lobby as well. Third, fix the client stability and sort out your servers, please. The game crashes unexpectedly for no apparent reason at random times. This was acceptable when it was in the betas, but not 3 months after release. Also sort out your full screen issue, please. For some reason the full screen flickers with black while trying to set full screen. It takes goddamn ages. You can even notice when you launch the game without on full screen. If I had the game window though, and I switched to full screen because I want to downsample, more often than not I don't even get a picture on my screen before the timeout for accepting a new resolution has expired and the game is unresponsive during that time. If I choose to go in window full mode, or whatever it's called, the game starts out without, like freezing out the start, so there's some weird issue with that. Fourth, multiplayer. Why is the game so hard to be broken still? I'm not talking about the obvious with port problems, since you went with peer-to-peer, which was the most idiotic decision ever in my opinion. I would love to hear why this was chosen over dedicated servers. Even with people having all ports forwarded correctly and open, there's still not enough players for lobbies to be fun for more than a few races before people leave, and then people never seem to get in their lobby. We also need to add an option to disable the insanely overpowered slipstream. Many of us likes competitive racing, and this destroyed a lot of that. Secondly, you need to dynamically change the opacity of other cars as you're getting close to them. For someone like me using the hood cam, it's impossible if I race with someone with a big hammer. Up close, it's blocking my entire field of view, and I can't see anything. I've lost so many races because that is highly frustrating. Even if I know the map, I can't really see the corner. I'm not able to hit it as I'm supposed to. I'm not braking enough, or I'm not going fast enough, or whatever. Fix it. Sixth, and this is the most important of all. Communication. Are everyone at Ivory Tower single and hasn't been, or in any relationship, whatever? Well, let me tell you about how a relationship works. The key to any successful relationship is communication, and most people actually know this, except for some reason the big game studios and big publishers. They think that they can manage their partners, which is customers, you know me, to simply be in the relationship with a lot of problems, with little or no feedback and very few interactions. There's so far only 2 community managers, yet their role feels more or less insignificant at times. They never have any real info to share with us. A lot of topics never get any attention. I see the same questions over and over again, problems, whatever. Why did you even bother to set up a forum and hire community managers if they're never allowed to share any info? Or are you just not seeing how valuable they can be to you? The only thing we know is that we're getting 3 new cars each month, basically. We never know when they come around, since you never bothered to share that with us. We don't know what you're planning for the game, since you never share what your plans are. Patch notes are giving out, leaving a lot of stuff untouched with no explanation at all. And you're not even acknowledging your own problems. Nothing about stability issues, nothing about promised photo mode, claim to fix wall running, which your player didn't. You seem surprised even to get the question to remove spoilers in a Twitch stream. Yet there's like 20 threads. I'm probably triple of that. Several pages on many of them, and still no option to remove them. I mean, I could go on for quite some while, but I don't think it's really necessary. The best advice I can give to Ivory Tower at this point is first and foremost to treat your CMs as valuable assets. Give them the information they need. Secondly, take a whole day at the forums. Just look through the posts in all the sections. You're either not listening to your CMs or your customers for some odd reason, or well, just seem disconnected with the game and the guys that actually play them, your customers that pays you your money. I know you can't fix everything overnight. You can't adhere to everyone's requests. What you can do, however, is to inform us what you're working on, what the ETA is. If you continue to stroll down the same road you're on now, you lose everyone's patience and respect. We bought your game. We came to your forum to share your feelings. We're the ones paying for your salaries, basically. Please don't treat us like you don't give a shit. Bottom line, I still think this is a great game. I still have hope for this game, but I'm running out of patience, and I will have to consider breaking up my relationship with the crew in Ivory Tower. I really hope that this patch that comes around tomorrow will give me new hope in the crew in Ivory Tower. But one patch a month is no way near enough. You guys really need to pick up your pace. If you don't, this game is gonna be over and out before it even has really started to grow on people. So that's it for now, guys. A lot of negative feedback, sorry for that, but I like this game, and I get emotionally attached to this, and that makes me kind of like sad and angry at times. I'll see you guys around in the next video. So as always, stay frosty, guys. Bye.